Good morning. It is... Oh, I have to click this other button. There we go.
Ow.
What'd you do?
My hair got stuck on my glasses when I pulled them off.
You know that your hair is like 2 feet long?
Uh-huh.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Morning, everyone. Man, there's actually quite a bit to talk about today.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. Haley's here too.
Morning, Haley.
And ooh-woo to you. Quite a bit to talk about because yesterday we went to the North Carolina State Fair, which is here in Raleigh.
We went to the fair.
We went to the fair. We had a big group of people. It was a very fun time, so we got that to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then also yesterday, Emil released his announcement video for Paper Mario.
Yeah.
And I get to talk about that too, because I was involved. So that was fun. That was very, very fun. We're running just a little slow today because I went, and this is the fun part. I went to bed.
Sorry, quick interruption. Full Metal Grease, you went over the weekend? How busy was it? Because we were there on a Monday and it was busy. And we were like, we can't imagine a weekend. Anyway, go ahead.
It was pretty busy for
very
a
busy.
weekday at 1 p.m. It was pretty busy. Like, I imagine that based on that, going on a weekend, it would be like, you gotta like wade through people.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Brandon.
Oh,
Full Metal
wow.
Grease said, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon said my Lyft driver went on the weekend and said I made a mistake. It was utter hell. Yeah, it seems like it would be a very busy event. It seems like it would be a very, very busy event on the weekend. So I'm glad we went when we did.
Yeah.
But also it was still, very, very busy.
It was very busy.
But I remember being there because we got there right around, like we were in it right around 1 p.m. And I remember thinking, this is going to be crazy at like 6. But it was already pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. But for this morning, I went to bed early last night, and like after I went to bed early, I was like, certainly this will be good. I'll get a good amount of sleep because I was physically exhausted.
Yeah, me too.
Like I walked a lot yesterday. It's basically all I did was walk. There's not a lot of places to sit.
Yeah.
At the state fair. They really don't want you sitting. All of the food is designed to eat while you
walk.
Yeah, while you walk and stand. And I was physically exhausted. I went to bed last night. I got in bed at like 10.
I took a bath and then I got in bed by 11.
Yeah, so I was in bed by 10, probably asleep by 11, and I was like, this is good. I'll get some good sleep. However, I got in bed so early that I didn't feed Kepler his very last meal of the day. But at the time I got in bed, he was on the bed asleep with me. And I was like, I have a funny feeling you're going to wake me up around 3 in the morning. 3:30 in the morning. He actually woke up you. I was so tired that I did not wake up.
I started like nudging you and you weren't responding.
Yeah.
And I figured you were asleep, but because you were not responding at all, I was worried, so then I woke you up. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, Mal woke me up and then was like, the cat needs to eat. And then Mal fed the cat.
Fill your trick-or-treating urn with tiny Eddie's Only Ice sliders.
I love the concept of a trick-or-treating urn.
It's actually, I mean, it's very much in line with the holiday.
Yeah.
To be honest. Tiny Eddie's Oily Eye Sliders. It's 1,000 bits for Cheeky Anthea. It says, Happy 6 a.m. I have a Tiny Eddie story for you. I was visiting my grandparents on Saturday. My grandpa asked if he could ask a stupid question. I said yes, and he proceeds to ask, who is Tiny Eddie? Cue me laughing as I forgot I was wearing my shirt. I don't even know how you would explain that.
Yeah.
To be honest, that seems like a very difficult thing
to explain.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that you did a fine job. I just feel like if I was asked to explain it, I would be like, well, I need like 10 minutes.
I had to explain our clapping to my grandma for year subscriptions.
Yeah. Let me scroll down and find one. Yeah, so 36 months from Night City.
I had to explain that to my grandma. Because she found a VOD of Breakfast Stream, and she's like, I see all these videos, and you're always clapping.
We're just always clapping. Just always giving you a clap. Anyway, to wrap up the sleeping story.
Yes.
Mao ended up feeding the cat, although she had woken me up.
I had to make sure you were alive.
I typically just die in the middle of the night, so it was best to...
I couldn't even hear you breathing.
It was best to wake me up to be sure that I was not dead. Spoilers, I was alive. And then once she woke me up, I couldn't get back to sleep. So Mal went and fed the cat and then came upstairs and went back to bed. And Mal actually fell asleep. And I could hear her be asleep, and I was still awake. So it took me an hour or more to fall asleep. Finally went back to bed. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and my entire body was drenched in sweat. And it's because I had fallen asleep on my back with my legs spread just a little bit. And Kepler crawled up in there. And I was so hot. I was like, oh my God. And I had to pull my legs out from under the covers. And I was just soaked. And it took me a long time to get back to sleep from that. Part of it was cat. Although part of it might have been the meat sweats. I did eat a turkey leg yesterday. I'm not sure. It was there was a lot of wetness. I love you, little buddy. I really do. You are, without a doubt, generally 80% of the reason why I don't always get the good sleep.
Mr. Deathkill says the funnel cake sweats. Yeah, that too. I never did get to try your funnel cake.
Yes, you did. You did get to try. You just didn't try.
It's because I was eating my own sweet.
You had the opportunity.
I should have.
Jepson couldn't finish his funnel cake.
I know. I couldn't finish my sweet. I gave it to Alex.
Anyway,
Brendan says it's okay. You didn't miss much. I had cookie dough on a stick, and I ate. It was like 3 chunks about this big, like they were discs. And I ate one, and I was like, okay, I'm done. But I have 2 more. So then I ate most of the second, and I was like, I can't do this.
I'm going to read through alerts to make sure we
get through alerts.
Go
ahead.
But I do want to talk a lot more about the fair because there's so many things about the fair to discuss. We got 22 months of Tier 2 from Radio Dread, Golden Toast. 46 months from Jennifer Jack. 27 from Valhana's 19. 49 from Chrissy G. 18 from Hand Sewn Mama. 300 bits from Xenoblade Fanatic says, been up a while since I've gotten up this early for a breakfast. Or,
it's been a while since I got up.
Sorry, I read line 2 before line 1. Been a while since I've gotten up this early for a breakfast stream, but waking up for a new Final Fantasy XIV patch does that to people. Happy patch day. I hope the Final Fantasy XIV folks enjoy the patch. We also get 300 bits from Radio Dread. It says, a test of clowns. I feel very...
certain there's a new clown?
No.
Oh.
Not at all what I was going to say. I feel very foggy.
You need more caffeine.
I mean, yeah, I think the thing that I'm most bummed about is that on a night where I was like, I'm going to bed early. All right, this is great. And like the next morning, I'm like, I feel particularly tired and bad. Because I woke up multiple times in the night. It's not, those aren't the days that I expect to be bad. Darn it. We also got 36 months from Konosuga. Congrats on 3. That alert is how my brain feels. Like a moth just flying around.
Hitting the sides of the inside of your head. Yeah.
9 months from Pickle Slobs. 19 from Leaf 473. 49 from Phantom SBT. 35 from Gonzo Tinkerman. 24 from Zaz, my man. Congrats on the 2. 31 from Charlemagne 25. 49 from Hyryu. 34 from Jolteron. 30 from Anorak Dovahkian says, so crazy news. The wife and I just found out we're pregnant. We're so excited with just a little bit of M&M.
Congratulations.
Mom spaghetti. Sorry, you wrote M&M, so I thought it was appropriate. Congratulations. That's fantastic. I wish you both the best. And I don't know. I'm sure that like the next few months will be very, very exciting with their own sets of challenges.
Yeah.
I think one of the most interesting things about being pregnant would be like getting the room set up.
Yeah.
I don't know, like that's there's a lot of things to think about, right? But like that's one of the things that I first think about is like there's a lot of like preparation you have to do in terms of like preparing for the arrival of a child. And I feel like that would be like, I'm sure it'd be like there's anxiety and stress, but like I think it'd also be very exciting. So you set up a room?
A lot of people set up a nursery, yes. Haley said, that's what you think about?
Sorry. Haley,
you can decorate our room.
Haley, you have to understand. Not your body completely changing, the room. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. Sorry. You have to understand. You have to understand, like, the thing that I can most relate to not having kids is like setting up a room. I have done a lot of setting up a room for various things. Although, admittedly, if we had a child on the way, I wouldn't set up a room like this. This wouldn't be the room.
No.
No, it would be a very different type of room. Anyway, I wish you well. I wish you well all the same, Haley. Men, what are they? Your lungs have to find a new home, but sure, think about the IKEA rug. Ooh. Listen, we all have to find common ground where we can find it. Jesse, I wish you well. 23 months from Sephiroth 13. 2 months from Lone Koopa. 28 from Rainy Days 48. 8 months from Dustin Hastings. 30 bits from Wayward Cat says, I've been in Mal's position and woken up my boyfriend because I couldn't tell if he was breathing and he was unusually cold. It's really scary when you think someone you love might be in trouble.
I did reach out and touch your face and it was cold.
Okay. I mean...
I was pulling a kepi and I just...
Okay. I mean, I understand that if you have genuine worry, I appreciate that you have genuine worry about me.
I did.
I appreciate it.
I was also barely awake because Kepler woke me up.
Yeah. I don't know that I would wake you up, but I might. It depends what would be happening. If there was something wrong with the house...
You would wake me up?
I would wake you up. Like if the house was on fire, I would wake you up.
I hope you wake me up.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's other situations in which I would wake you up. If someone was in the house. You know, like a monster. If there was a monster in the house.
Yeah.
I would wake you up.
What kind of monster would be in the house?
Like a Babadook or something. I don't know. Dieter does not wake me up. He is afraid. I mean, there was a long time in my life where I felt like if I woke up in the middle of the night, I fell asleep very easily. And I feel like that has kind of ended, and I'm not sure when that ended exactly, but I feel like in the last year or more, I don't sleep super good. It's fine. 500 Bits from Platinum Pikachu says, I recently saw a Simpsons ep where Bart has to live in a bubble. He points and says that sunsets look so dazzling now, only for Lisa to say, that's no sunset, that's a bird on fire. Will this bird be on fire? I do not believe the bird was on fire.
No, it was a spoonbill.
It was a spoonbill. I do like birds on fire. Well, I mean, I like Moltres is what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
I don't like people setting birds on fire. That's cruel and unusual. Just Moltres. 30 Bits from Genesis, who says, good news, I'm no longer sick.
Yay!
Thanks for the good vibes. And good vibes to my fellow sick people from last week. Let's see a Jimmy alert. It's true, last week there were more people sick than this entire year.
Yeah.
I mean, not like that's not like a CDC statistic. That's like
that was just a
that's a breakfast stream
Stephen
statistic.
Power of observation from Breakfast Stream.
I mean, it's true. We had more folks chiming in about being sick last week than ever before. So I'm glad that you're feeling better, and I sincerely hope other folks can get better too. Chill Days gifted to sub to Silent Companion. We'll get 3 months from Supersonic Dog, 2 months from Haley92. 300 from Ultra Hoska says, I just turned 30 yesterday and I'm excited to see what happens in this next chapter of my life. Also Clown.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. The 30s are good.
Yeah, 30s are good.
30s are
you
good.
You do feel a lot more tired and your body is tired.
Yeah, your body is aging in a way that is more noticeable. But man, the 30s, I don't know. You better know yourself as a person. I feel like you spend your 20s figuring out who you are, and by the time you get to your 30s, you've more or less got a lot of that figured out, and then you're just kind of doing that. Yeah, that's my take on the 30s. Spinner Trap says 30s is way better than 20s. Yeah, that. I honestly I feel like I feel like that. I've enjoyed my 30s, and like my 20s were fine, they were good, but I think I'm happier in my 30s, probably because I can't push myself to the same extent that I did when I was in my 20s, and like.
Yeah, I pushed myself a lot in my 20s,
and I've realized that, and I've slowed my life down a little bit, and like it's better. Yeah. Space Vixen says, I'm much better off in my 30s mentally than my 20s. Yeah, that. Brandon says, what's that like? Listen, you get there. I've enjoyed my 30s immensely. How far am I into it? A third.
A third.
I'm a third. It's good. We got 500 Bits from Aldo says, but this bird is definitely on fire, right?
No.
Statistically, no. We get 300 Bits from Shy who says, imagining Steven waking up Mal. Mal, wake up. Wake up, Mal. Is the house on fire? No, Mal. We found a map to Candy Mountain. Candy Mountain, Mal. I would probably wake you up if I found a map to Candy Mountain.
I don't need to go to Candy Mountain.
Oh.
Not after yesterday.
9 months from Dan the Warrior 101. Appreciate it. And that gets us through the alerts. Hold on, I gotta put a cookie in here. Vital.
So are we talking about the fair next?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. So we went to the fair yesterday.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. It was a nice day. It was a little hot for a little bit. They had a show called Hogs and Dogs and More.
It was called Hog Diggity Dogs and More.
Hog Diggity Dog some more. That's it. That was the hottest part of the day because the sun was just beating on all the backs of our necks.
Yeah, I don't know if folks can see.
Yeah, you got a little tan on your neck.
Yeah. I mean, I sat in the sun without moving for like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Haley said, I'm so glad I made everyone go to the show. I enjoyed that show.
It was a good show. No, I did not bring my cowboy hat, and I regretted it the minute I got there. Because as soon as I walked in, I was like, this is the exact reason I should have brought my cowboy hat. And I did not. Which is a shame. But I'll try to remember that next time we go to a big outdoor event in the day where I am going to burn.
We can look up all the festivals that happen in the area.
I would love to go to festivals.
And like there's surrounding towns that have stuff too.
Festivals.
We were going to go to one, but it got canceled because of the hurricane.
Yeah, Haley wore sunscreen like an adult.
I did too.
Yeah, I don't wear sunscreen.
I know.
By the way, don't do that. Wear sunscreen.
Yeah, wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen. Don't be like me. But I don't wear sunscreen.
One of the new things they were advertising at the fair is like, oh, the new fair food for the year was a rattlesnake corn dog. Mm-hmm. It was rattlesnake sausage corn dog. So they had taken the rattlesnake meat and made a sausage and then done the cornbread thing to it and fried it.
We should probably start by just saying like...
What we ate?
No.
Oh.
We need to start with the most basic of thing, and that is who went.
Oh yeah, who went? Because
there was 8 of us.
Yeah.
Me, Mal, Alex, Haley, Josh, Hal. I don't know if folks know of Hal Diamond. Hal Diamond is currently visiting Josh, and we've been hanging out with him a little bit too. He was actually in we did a broken phone the other night, and he joined us for that as well. Brandon
and Dan.
Dan drove up in order to join us yesterday as well. So there was 8 of us, and that was a nice little group. And we actually stuck together all day too. We didn't ride anything.
Because a lot of us are terrified of fair rides.
It's true. It's true.
Dan wanted to ride some things, but the way to get tickets for the rides were a little confusing. Because you had to like go buy a pass and then a ticket. I don't know. And most of us didn't want to ride anything, so. They
sold tickets, I believe. Like, if you wanted a ticket to ride a single thing, you could buy a ticket. Mm-hmm. But what they were working on doing is trying to get you to buy a wristband.
Yeah.
And it was $40 to ride unlimited rides all day. So in order to make it worth it, you'd have to basically do that and ride rides all day. And I was like, no.
There was a lot of rides too. There were at least 3 or maybe 4 Ferris wheels.
The most haunted trolls all desire Tiny Eddie's fragile lemur chunks.
Lemur. Just trust us, it's lemur. Actually, I don't want to believe it's lemur. From Leaf 473, the fair, they have snacks there, like possibly this one. I mean, so, actually, fragile lemur chunks wouldn't be like terribly... there was some weird stuff there.
Yeah.
There was some like, when I say weird... When I say weird, I mean like stuff that's a little out of the ordinary.
Yeah, like a rattlesnake corn dog.
Yeah, I mean a lemur, they didn't have lemur.
No.
Can you serve lemur? Is it legal?
No, I don't think it's legal.
Chaz, don't worry. It's not the lemur you're thinking of. Actually worry. We also had 24 months from Pickletron. 2.
The food I had for lunch was amazing. At the fair. There was a place that was selling deep fried Cuban rolls, and they were like in a what's it called? Like a wonton wrapper, deep fried. Oh, it was delicious, and it was like everything you'd find in a Cubano. So it was like pickles and ham and mustard and cheese. That was amazing.
There was, I would say that there was no less than 100
stalls for food.
Yeah, and
It was just food.
And
Like,
I dare say 200. I mean, like that's.
it was so much.
It was ridiculous. There was just so much food there, and I went to the fair with the sole intention of making sure that I got a turkey leg. I love those giant turkey legs, and I knew that that's what I wanted for lunch. We arrived there at lunchtime, and
There was like 6 places that had turkey legs.
probably more. I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot of places that had them. So as soon as we got there, I knew what I wanted, which was great because there was a lot of food to try, but I knew what I wanted, so I went straight to there was not a line. Just went up and paid the person $15 and got a turkey leg. That's the one downside about the fair, is that everything is $15.
My Cuban rolls were 13, I think.
$13.
I thought the tickets to get into the fair were cheap.
They're pretty reasonable.
They were 13.
Yeah.
Brandon says there was deaf stuff that wasn't 15. Yeah.
It's true. Brandon got a coffee and a sandwich for 11, which is actually somewhat reasonable.
Haley's corn was 7.
The funnel cake was only $8. Yeah. The thing is, there were some stalls that were like trying to undercut other stalls, but a lot of the stalls were matching the prices of other stalls. Because there was times I would see foods, and then there would be another stall that sold the same thing, and they'd just have the prices the same. Funnel cake was great. That's the 2 things. There's 2 things I want when I go to an amusement park or a fair or something like that. I want a giant turkey leg, and I want a funnel cake.
And you got both.
And I finished both. I love those. That's my thing. And then when everyone else was having other food, I want to try it. So Mal got the Cuban rolls, and I had to try it.
Yeah.
It's very good. Alex got fried crawfish. I had to try it.
Those were pretty good.
They were good. So that explains where you're basically. I did eat the entirety of an entire turkey leg and an entire funnel cake. Yeah. But also, I don't think I even overdid it that much.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I think 20-year-old or 20s Mallory would have eaten more. Because there was more things I wanted to try. Like there was a Korean corn dog that looked really good. There was something else.
The 8 of us tried one
rattlesnake corn dog.
Yeah, so Alex bought the single $10 rattlesnake corn dog, and then we all just went down the line and took a single bite off of the corn dog, like doom 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 until finally it was gone.
Hal has never had a regular corn dog.
We didn't know that.
He's from the UK.
We didn't know that.
So then he had to go get a regular corn dog so he could compare, and he's like, okay, I see why people like corn dogs, but he's.
It was very funny because I didn't know that when he was eating
said
it.
The snake dog was flavorless, and Brandon said it was resoundingly mediocre. Yes.
It tasted like a brat that was not a very good brat.
Yeah.
So they call them maze hounds.
We've had a great time discussing language with Hal.
Yeah.
And learning about the terms that are different.
It is fun because occasionally we'll say something and Hal will just stare and then we'll have to clarify, and then sometimes it's in reverse. So that's been fun. And then other times we understand each other, but we're like, here that's called this.
We do it in the broken phone that we recorded on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I used a term in my book that I know is a very Midwestern term. And I watched my book go straight to Hal, and then he's like, what is this word?
It was great.
It was great.
I just thought it was funny that, he takes a bite of this rattlesnake corn dog, and he's like, and then immediately he's like, yeah, I haven't had a normal corn dog, and we're like, oh my god, your first corn dog experience was rattlesnake. I was like, this is like, you are in point.
Yeah, that's what he said, Brandon.
You are in like 0.1% of people whose first corn dog experience was not normal hot dog. Yeah. It was fine.
It was fine. I was also very amused by when we went into the different buildings at the fair, like where people are competing for things and getting ribbons.
Yeah.
I was with Brandon and Hal, and we were walking through, like, we walked past the giant pumpkin, but then there was, like, other aisles for other produce, like, for people getting ribbons. Mm-hmm. And he's like, there's a cabbage on a plate, and they got a blue ribbon for it. He's like, did they go to the market and just buy a cabbage and, like, enter it? Like, he's like, this is just a grocery store. And we kept going down these aisles, and there were, like, collard greens, and there were, like, carrots on a plate, and he's like, I just can't believe this.
There was
I was very amused by his reaction to that.
There was a lot of competition stuff there.
There were grange tables. They had animals.
Yeah. There was, I think, one of the funniest...
There was a plate with 3 ordinary onions.
There was an entire... It was almost an entire building of, like, people that have made, like, cookies and sweets.
Yep.
And then they were all in these display glasses behind, like, locked glass. And we were walking, I was telling Alex, I said, if ever I've wanted to pull a heist, I was like, it's here. It's like, I want those cookies. I want to know what a blue ribbon cookie tastes like. I'm going to break this glass. The forbidden cookies.
Someone asked if we went into the chicken tent. We did go into the chicken tent.
Yep. We saw a bunch of chickens. They had an outdoor pond thing, and it was just full of ducks. And the ducks were just having the time of their lives. It was wonderful. They were just walking around and splashing. Some were very large.
Oh, they were terrifyingly large. And they, like, came over towards us.
Yeah, it's like they very much expected us to give them food. I'm sure you're not supposed to feed the ducks.
You're not supposed to
But people must
ducks.
feed them regularly enough that they expect that. It's fun.
Did they have the really big horses? The horses were in a separate location.
We actually saw a lot of really small horses.
Yeah.
I guess that we never went to the normal-sized horse.
No, we did not.
Place.
We walked past we were on the tram past the horses.
Yeah. But we saw a lot of tiny horses.
Those are ponies.
I filmed all this stuff.
Those are ponies, Stephen.
I mean, some were ponies. A lot of the things I saw weren't ponies. They were, like, tiny horses.
Where? There was a pony ride, and, like, that was it.
No. Me and Haley saw a tiny horse. They have a name. I don't know what they're called. Are they called tiny horses?
They're called ponies.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Ponies are horses that aren't grown yet.
That's not true. Ponies are a separate type of horse.
What? No. What?
Foals are young horses.
Wait, no, that tracks. I know that information.
Give me the bird.
Wait, no, the foal digivolves into a pony, digivolves into a horse.
No,
No?
Ponies are a type of horse.
I'm definitely thinking of like miniature or dwarf horse. Are those different than ponies? Are they... Colt! That's another word I know. These are words I know. Oh my god. I think...
It's colt and fillies.
Filly? What is a filly?
It's a female horse.
That's a cheesesteak.
Don't you remember in Red Dead?
Learning about cheesesteaks? Christ almighty. This is too much.
You don't know enough about horses.
I think I know.
You should have taken
I know
equestrian
too
studies
much.
instead.
I already know too much about horses. I know more than I've ever wanted to know about horses. I don't want to know this much information about horses. God, where was I? 26 months from CharHutch97. 300 bits from the Reload says, since we're on Carnival Talk, what's everyone's favorite carnival game? I've always liked the balloon darts and have gotten some good prizes from it. I love Midway carnival games.
As a kid, I loved the Pluck-a-Duck, where you pick up the rubber ducky and you have a number. Mm-hmm. Because there's something about all the rubber duckies floating in that oval that I just liked as a kid. And I also liked to throw the ping pong ball onto the glass with the goldfish in it.
I really like just the carnival games in general. I did not play any yesterday.
No, we did not.
Which is probably good because...
There's a lot of people with giant stuffed animals.
Because I do like them, and I have no problem like setting aside an amount of money to essentially burn because you're not going to actually... You're far more likely to just have burned the money than actually win things. But I've always liked doing it. I think that they're fun to play. As far as like a favorite game, I don't know. I maybe the basketball, which you never win because they don't use the standardized hoops. But I just like throwing the ball.
Someone said they like skee ball, and I adore skee ball. I am not great at it because we played skee ball with our Make-A-Wish granting when we did that, and she totally, oh my god, she did so good. I had never had a chance against her.
I don't recall, is skee ball common as a carnival game?
Sometimes, yeah.
I don't think I don't know if I saw any yesterday, but yeah, I honestly could have very easily like spent a good portion of the day doing carnival games.
Yeah.
But no one else was into that, and then as a result, I saved a bunch of money. So maybe it's good.
I enjoyed going through all the exhibits and seeing that.
Yeah, and also that stuff's free.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the cost of admission to get in,
yeah.
So it's probably a better way of spending time.
I liked like all the local stuff because there was like a local dairy that had some of their milk for sale.
Yeah, Malba the milk. Oh yeah, actually that was one of the cheapest things there because it was $1.
Yeah.
So there was like
local
milk for $1.
Like if you went into like those areas, like those pavilions, that stuff was a lot cheaper because there was like local grape slushy because it was muscadine grapes. And like Alex got that, and it was a lot cheaper than any of the drinks out near the Midway.
Yeah. The food is. I mean, like I know that.
Yeah.
But even though I'm like mentally preparing myself for like food at the fair is expensive, you're going to be spending money on food today. Even though I did, I'm doing that before I ever get there. I'm still surprised. I'm still like, it is as expensive as I thought it'd be.
Adam Attack says $1 for how much milk? About a pint. Like a tiny little carton.
The little cardboard carton.
And they had chocolate.
Did you get chocolate?
I did.
Okay. We get 510 bits from a niece who says, when my sister moved to the States, people were very freaked out that, number one, white people exist in South Africa and that we spoke with a nearly UK accent. She had to teach herself a US accent just to be understood. So I have sympathy for Hal's reaction. It's been fun to hang out with. I think Hal is still going to be here for another week or so, a little bit. So
my cousin's wife is from South Africa, and she definitely has an accent. Mm-hmm. And when I first met her, it was a little hard, but I've gotten better at it.
Yeah, we've actually hung out with everybody multiple times. Yeah. So I'm excited for the next week's worth of vlogs to come out, so everyone can see that because we've done things. Actually, the vlog that I'm working on now, I don't have it done yet, is the tour of the Children's Hospital.
Mm-hmm. And that was just us.
That was just us. I'm hoping I can finish saying. I'm hoping I can finish that today because it's a particularly large roadblock.
Yeah.
Because I shot a lot and I really need to cut it down. And I shot it on the FX3 and it has to be graded. It's fun. 300 bits from Action Cat. He says, I love skee ball so much. We did mini golf and the last hole was set up like skee ball. It was very cool. Oh, that is cool. I mean, I like skee ball. So growing up at the beach, there's a lot of, arcades are in quote. It's like what's the best word for that? Because when I say arcade, a lot of times people are thinking of like an 80s arcade.
Yeah.
And that's not what I mean. There's they're called arcades. That's the traditional word for it, but that's not
Sorry, I didn't.
a boardwalk arcade. That is exactly it. Thank you,
Okay.
Rachel. Yes, a boardwalk arcade because they're on the boardwalk. A boardwalk arcade has like arcade games that are more in line with things from like the 50s, like before we had like video games, and there's tons of those in Myrtle Beach. So
On the boardwalk.
If you're walking the boardwalk, there's a lot of these arcades where you can go in and play these like very old games. Redemption Arcade would be good too, yeah. And it's a lot of times you're earning tickets and you're trying to get prizes or whatever. But skee ball is very common.
There's a lot of skee ball.
There's a
at
lot of
those. And also the one with the baseball theme thing, where you have to like turn the little pitcher guy.
Yeah,
That's really common at Myrtle Beach.
yeah,
I'm sure New Jersey has a ton of them because Moose said that.
yeah.
I know there's a lot in parts of California like that.
Yeah, I think that's really fun. I think if people are vacationing in Myrtle Beach, that spending, a quarter or half of a day, like just going to the various arcades and getting, earning a prize, I think that sort of thing is fun. But I also lived there, so.
What else about the fair was interesting?
I'm trying to think of other foods. Hal got some deep fried Oreos. He had never had those before, which I think is, one of like the definitive things.
Quintessential fair foods.
Yeah, like if you've never had a deep fried Oreo, you have to. I personally would advise split it because you can usually get like 6. I would personally advise splitting that with other people. They are delicious. They will kill you. I think Hal just ate them all. But also,
I thought he didn't finish them. I thought he said he only ate half.
oh well, yeah, probably because it's hard to do. By the time we were done, both Hal and Josh were like, "Oh my God, we feel very sick." And I was like, "Fair." No pun intended. Fair. What other food? We had a cheer wine
Slushy.
which was painfully expensive, but refreshing as it was the hottest part of the day.
Haley had street corn, or not street corn. It was like Mexican corn, but it was served in a cup, so it was easier to eat.
Yeah. We had a funnel cake.
Sprite wine is different than sheer wine.
Yes. Thankfully.
What did Dan buy?
What did Dan buy?
Dan ate something.
I'm sure Dan ate. I was the only one that got a turkey leg.
Yeah. I forgot what Dan ordered.
Oh, Dan got a pita.
Oh,
Dan
yeah.
and Josh at the beginning of the day got a pita. That was their like lunch,
Yeah.
which is funny because they had a pita for dinner. They had 2 pitas yesterday.
Oh, they did.
It's fine. Y'all can have beans if you want. Here, have beans. Burp-a-derp.
What is cheer wine? Cheer wine is a soda that tastes a lot like cherry Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
It is one of the last U.S. sodas not owned by the Big Two.
and it is in North
It's a
Carolina.
North Carolina soda.
Yeah. We didn't try deep fried cheesecake.
That
but
would
they
have
had
been too
it.
much. Oh my god.
They had that. I think that would have killed me instantly. There was also a lot of other stuff that I saw there.
Yeah, like I really wanted to try the Korean corn dog, but I just didn't. The line was super long and I was full.
I mean, just about anything that you could possibly imagine.
There was a Wisconsin cheese curd thing. Did you see it? It was like Wisconsin cheese. And it didn't say cheese curd on it. It was like hand cut cheese, deep fried, and it wasn't even like cheese curd.
Yeah, and
But it was cheese curds.
I love I love walking around. There's a lot of parts of it that I like because I really like.
They ate an oyster bar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Brandon was gonna get
They
oysters.
were out of oysters.
But they were out.
Bad for the oyster bar to be out of oysters. There's a lot of aspects of the fair I like. My favorite is definitely the food. And there were a few times where we walked by a food stall, and my body could not do it, but my mind wanted it. We walked past like fried pickles, and I was like, oh my god, fried pickles! I love fried pickles.
I wanted
do it.
cotton candy and I never got it.
There's
but
so
I
much-
did get a little sample because like honey cotton candy was really big at the fair this year.
Yeah.
There was multiple places selling honey cotton candy and I did get a sample. So at least I got that.
They had fried gator there.
Yeah, they had a lot of fried gator.
Which I always enjoy, but again, like you can only the other thing
Next
is,
time, Brandon.
The other thing is that you can only eat so much fried food. Like you just at a certain point, there's a mental block where your brain goes, no, don't you put that in your mouth, and like everyone hits that at a different level, but eventually everyone hits it, and then you're like, okay, oh boy, I can't do that, because we stayed until about it's somewhere between 5 and 6.
And we considered eating dinner there too.
We didn't really.
I did.
Mao is the only person who did. Mao was bringing it up to the group and was like, so how do we feel about like eating dinner here? And everyone was like,
We were already there.
everyone was like, we could leave. Like every single other person,
Was very done with
every other person but Mao was like, we could leave the fair and eat something that won't kill us. And Mao was like, but we're already here. And everyone's like, oh, it's not a good enough reason. Like Hal and Josh are like, we could puke at any point. In fairness, I would have stayed if the group wanted to stay. Like I could. There was food that would have killed
Not
you
killed-
slightly less.
Yeah, that's why I had what I had.
But I also was like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah, but we did go for nighttime pitas, and it was delicious.
Yeah, for folks who live, because Cava is that I don't know how big that chain is.
I think it's bigger than you think it is.
Okay, well, there's a chain that some of you may be familiar with, and it's called Cava, C-A-V-A, and it's like a Mediterranean-style Chipotle. And we had never had it before, so we went and tried that yesterday.
Multiple people. I've had 4 people, viewers. Someone we know that's not a viewer was like, you have to try this.
Yeah, so we went and tried it, and it was very good. You either get a bowl or a pita, and it's,
I think they're DC based.
and you put the stuff in it. It was very good, but man, it was wet. It was so wet. That was the one complaint amongst everyone, is that we all got pitas. There was 6 of us that ate dinner together. We all had pitas, and it was just dripping. I mean, it was so.
It was very delicious.
It was very good. The flavor was great, but it was so wet, and I was like, I wouldn't get a pita again because it was just. I'd get a bowl. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh, wow. Dang. Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Colorado, Kentucky. That's not Kentucky, that's Connecticut. DC, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Massachusetts, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, New York, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia.
They have
A lot of
like
places.
pre-made stuff. Like you can be like, oh, I want this pita, but you can also just be like, I want a pita, and then you just pick what you want on it. They also have like rice bowls.
Yeah. Have a good one at work, Brandon.
Bye, Brandon.
Yeah, that would be my only... So one of the things they actually asked when you're going through the line is they were like, do you want the sauce on the pita? And I was like...
They didn't ask me that.
Oh, they asked me that. They were like, do you want the sauce on the pita or on the side? And I was like, on the pita. And now I get it. Now I'm like, oh, I should have got it on the side so I could have either dipped it or put it like little by little, because when they put all that sauce in there, it just went bleh.
They
And
have
it was-
one in Mount
Hummus was
Pleasant.
on it, yep.
Mine had hummus.
Yeah, there was like tzatziki and hummus and a bunch of other
There's one in Mount Pleasant.
things. Oh, okay. It was good. It was real good.
It was delicious.
I would go back. But again, it was just very wet.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold a pita and have the back half
Mine
of the
was
pita just
So messed up.
soaked.
Like it was.
So, yeah. We got 13 months from Segway Plays, and we also have an art. There's a breakfast art in the queue, so I want to take a look at this. Mal warding off Steven with a fountain pen, vampire style. I mean, it works. it was last week, I think, during breakfast stream
That I made you write with them.
that Mal went and got her fountain pen and made me try it. It's not for me. I'll say that. It's not for me. There are fountain pen people. Mal is a fountain pen person. She really loves it.
Yeah.
And I don't.
I was thinking.
I don't love it.
I kind of wish I had gotten a different ink color for next year. Because I always switch fountain pen ink every year for my Techo because I like the color changing for a year and the 5-year.
Yeah.
Every year is a different color.
Yeah.
I wish I kind of would have went with like the teal green color. That's the same as my bridesmaid dress. Because then I could have like done writing for Carly in that color, but I didn't think about it.
I'm sorry.
Satsy says, have you seen the capless mother fountain pen? Yes, and it is like 20,000 yen or something.
It's like $200.
It's like $200.
This is
And
very.
it's cool, but like,
It's very expensive for a pen. We still haven't had a chance to get the plushes since we missed the plush order. When is that?
some of them are getting restocked in December.
Some of them?
And the other ones are getting restocked in like February.
Okay.
They had more jackets. They had like a
Oh,
stock.
Fossick says closer to 150 at the 6. That's right.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's right. That I remember because the jacket
jackets.
came back.
And it's a lottery sale for the remaining, so you put in to buy it.
Roland gave me a bunch of crap about the jacket when it first came out, and I was like, I just can't spend that much on a jacket. I just cannot do it. Like, I physically am incapable of doing that. When there's a certain amount of money, everyone's got like a limit for a type of thing. So like, there's people that they don't have a problem spending, a lot of money on a particular fashion thing or memorabilia or like a watch or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I've got different limits than that, and my brain is like, I cannot spend that much money on a thing knowing that I could spend that much money on something else. So I just couldn't do it. And Roland knew I couldn't do it, and he gave me so much crap about it. He's like, you're gonna wish you had that jacket. And I'm like, no, I won't. I will not wish I had the jacket. Yeah. Couldn't do it. Now,
There he is.
Fake fan. Hi, Roland. How you doing? Hope you're having a good morning, buddy.
Miss you, buddy.
You gotta come up and give me crap in person about the jacket. You have to speak his name when he shows up. I love it. Yeah. So now the stupid jacket is back.
On a lottery.
On a lottery system, and now the yen is weaker, so the jacket is cheaper than it's ever been. And Mal brought it up the other day. She's like,
Do you want to enter the
Do you want to enter the lottery for the jacket? And I was like, no, I don't want the jacket. I was like, if I didn't get the jacket the first time around, I'm not going to get the jacket now. I was like, because then Roland will give me crap for the rest of my life. I was like, no, can't do it. Can't do it. So, anyway. I'm skipping that. Would you rather be bothered about the jacket or collecting PS2? I'm sure it'll just be both. It'll just be both. It's fine. I mean, also, it's the thing is at this point, it is a lottery system for remaining things. So like the likelihood of even getting
and you have to put in for a size too. So if you put in if you wanted to do something like our friend did who framed it, and you didn't care what size you got, you may not get it. Because, let's say there's 5 smalls and, 2 of every other size, and you don't know that, and you don't get it because you didn't go for the one that had more.
Yeah, Thunderstriker said, didn't Emil get the jacket? Yes. So Emil is attempting to have, a complete collection of Mother merchandise. And as a result, he's gonna get whatever comes out. So the jacket came out and he got it, and does he already have it framed, or is he going to?
Yeah, he has it already framed.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool. I should have had Josh take a picture when he was there.
You can also just ask Emil to take a photo.
I'm pretty sure
Emil lives in his house.
I'm pretty sure Emil has sent me a photo of it already, and it's really cool. He had it professionally done in a shadow box with
Yeah.
like something it came with, and it looks really good.
See, I feel like if I got the jacket, I would want to wear it.
Yeah.
And I can't. I would be afraid. But I wouldn't want to put it. I can't believe Emil can still live in Emil's. I don't want to put it in a shadow box. But
See,
it's
I would
too
want to put it in a shadow box.
But it's too expensive
It's
for
like
me
an
to
artwork.
It's too expensive for me to wear because it would freak me out. Maybe I would put it in a shadow box.
Yeah.
Anyway, Full Metal Grizz gifted 5 subs. Grizz, thank you to Rocktron LP's Naja Bear, Ultimate Thunderboy, Igloo Sandy, and Utterly Cool 26. Grizz, thank you. We also have a subscription from Carter 123.
Welcome.
Speaking.
I was going to say.
Hold on. Is there another?
I have a jacket. I think that's the totals for Extra Life. I have a jacket that's. I mean, it's not the same. It's not that much, but it's a more expensive jacket that Rhonda gifted me because Rhonda does a lot of thrifting, and Rhonda is so cool about that. Like, she just finds the most unique things for amazing deals.
Yeah.
And she found a jacket that she knew I liked because she has the same jacket, and she picked it up for me. And like every time I wear it, I'm like, oh my god, this jacket.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than the mother jacket, but still.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with paying that much money for
Yeah.
a jacket. Like, if that's the thing that you want to spend money on, that's fine. Nice shot. But like, for me, that's a big mental block. You know, when you start to get into the price point of like, oh, I could buy a camera lens.
Yeah.
Then I just can't do it. I struggle with that in a very big way. So it's fine. So yeah, speaking of Emil, yesterday Emil released the announcement video for his new Let's Play. He's redoing his Paper Mario 64 Let's Play. It's been 14 years, if you wanted to feel real old today. And he approached me months ago? It's been a long time.
He's talked about this idea for a long time, because he talked about it at Coliseum.
Yeah. He's had a very specific idea for a video that he wanted to make. And I talked to him, and this is months and months and months ago. I told him that I was going to retire from doing his logos. However, I would transition from doing his logos into doing like little video stuff if he was interested in doing it. So I no longer make the logos. So the last one I made would have been, I guess, Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
And the new one is done by a new artist. Can't remember their full name. It's Camille something. I don't remember what it is. But they did a great job with it.
Yeah, they did.
And that was the reason I stopped doing it, is because when I had been doing it for all these years, I mean, for one, I liked doing it. Camille Skylest, that's it. I had been doing the logo for all these years, and I enjoyed doing it. But then also, I had a very particular vision for how to do it and the way I wanted to do it. And then as the years went on, and folks continued to create like fan versions of the logo, there were some that were quite good. You know, people were making these logos, and you know, everyone is at different like skill levels for this sort of thing. But there were a few people that really got it, like really understood exactly what it was supposed to be, and were doing a really good job with it. And once I saw that it could be given to someone else, and especially with me trying to reduce my workload in my life, I was like, okay, this is fine. So I told Emil a few months ago, I was like, you knew this day was going to come. I said, I'm retiring from doing your logo. There's plenty of other people at this point that can carry that torch and do it. So I'm not doing it anymore, which is fine, because we still designed the logo.
Yeah.
And I feel happy about that. I feel like the logo itself is extremely good.
Yeah. And I do like how it changes all the time.
Yeah. So the design, I'm happy to have had a big part in that. And at this point, I'll let other artists carry it forward because I'm done. I'm busy. So when Emil said he wanted to do this
Announcement video?
this video idea, because originally it was just, it wasn't, I don't think it started necessarily as an announcement for Paper Mario. It just started as like a video. Like it was like, I want to do this video, I want to have a leather writing thing where it's kind of addressing like Paper Mario series. And that idea kind of evolved into this announcement video. And I told him that I was going to do it, and the plan evolved a lot, but the plan originally was for me to go down there to Atlanta and actually shoot it, and that did not work out. We actually had that planned. Yeah. I had a hotel booked. There was a lot of stuff that like we were trying to figure out, and I had a hotel booked to go down there.
You were actually gonna go.
I was gonna go with Alex.
Yeah, because Alex had to go back to Birmingham to finalize their move out.
Yeah.
So he was gonna drop you off in Atlanta and then pick you up on his way back here.
Yeah, I was gonna ride with Alex, go down there, be there for like 2 days to shoot everything, and then Alex on his way back from Birmingham was going to pick me up and bring me back up here. Had the hotel, had, got my equipment and stuff together. I was going to shoot it myself because that's what Emil wanted. Emil, and actually the fact that I didn't shoot it was a big point of contention originally, because like Emil told me, he was like, I want you to shoot it. If I have to come up there, then I'll come up there, or if you can come down here, like I really want you to shoot this thing. And so that was the plan originally, was I was going to go down there and we were going to shoot it. And then something came up for Emil like super last minute, and it wasn't going to work anymore. And he had something that came up that was going to take a week or two or whatever. So I was like, okay, no problem. But then we started getting into like crazy time here.
Yeah.
Where there's so much stuff going on here that I was like, I am not going to be able to come down there and shoot that. So at the time, Josh was actually in Atlanta. Josh was staying with Emil for a little bit of time, and I told Emil, I was like, "You can do this." It's like I was like, "You can do this." I said, "Is it going to be the same as if I shot it?" No, but if I give you direction, I think that you can make this happen. So Emil had asked me for camera recommendations a few months ago, because he wanted to get a camera for Discardables, because he wants to make, spoilers, he wants to make more episodes of Discardables, and he wanted a good camera for that. And my recommendation to him at the time was the Sony ZV-1, because it's reasonably priced camera. It's good. It's good enough for his needs, and I thought that it would be fine. So he got a ZV-1. He actually shot the most recent episode of Discardables with the ZV-1, and you can tell, like,
it looks good. It
looks really good. And I said, you've got that camera. Jepsen knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take care of getting a storyboard and a shot list for you, and just write up a bunch of directions, and you guys can do it. So I eventually psyched him up enough into believing that they could do it, and they did. So so Emil gave me Emil had written this. We actually changed Emil's idea.
Yeah.
Emil's original idea that I thought would be better if it was altered a little bit. Emil wanted it to be a letter writing thing, where he was at a desk and it was like he was writing, and it was like a voiceover with what he was going to say, and then he gave the letter to Paper Mario. And I actually changed the idea because I thought it would be better if it was just said directly to Paper Mario. So Emil gave me just what he wanted, because all of his monologue and stuff, that's all Emil. Emil wrote all of that. He's had that written for a long time. So I took that and I turned it into an actual script format, and I altered a few things here and there, but generally, his rant is exactly what Emil wrote. I just put all the stage direction and stuff in it. And then I sent him back that script. I did the storyboards, which there is a vlog for, where I went through and did all the storyboards. I did the best I could. It's really difficult to do a storyboard when you're not shooting it, because I'm not good enough at drawing to properly illustrate everything I'm trying to get across. And that was made apparent after I saw what they shot, because there's things that are different than what I intended. But I also am looking at my storyboard and I'm like, I can see why you did it this way. So I did that, and then I wrote like a page and a half of just bullet points of like every AV thing I could think of. I was like, set your camera frame rate to this, your shutter speed to this, do this with your ISO, be sure that you're paying attention to this, like all this crap.
Turn off the air conditioning.
Yeah, turn off the air conditioning. Make sure that you are, unplug the refrigerator. Make a note that you need to like plug the refrigerator back in. Hey, Emil, we're talking about your thing right this second. It was like, these are all of the notes of things that you have to try and follow. And then the thing that was actually the biggest difficulty in all of this was that they did not have a good way of getting off-camera audio. That was the biggest problem, is that I am drowning in film equipment here. There are so many cameras.
Yeah, you do. Stop buying it.
No. There's so many cameras and lenses and mics and cables. Like, we have everything we need to shoot. We could shoot a feature-length film with very little problem. But not everyone has all of that stuff, because they're not making the same things as
like you have
us.
a mic with a boom pole and like the headphones
they
would wear on a film set.
Yeah, we have multiple boom poles. So, obviously they didn't have all that, so we were trying to figure out the best and it was, I'm skipping over some things because there was like a point where like I was like, you need to get this, and like Emil went to the store and like they didn't have the things. Like there was a lot of like last minute, like, do they have this, do they have this? So finally we decided that the best course of action was to do the old tried and true trick, and this does work very, very well. Put your phone in your pocket. Put your phone in your pocket. Which is why it is shot with Emil's phone in his pocket, is because that is what's recording the audio. Because if you have a mic that is nice and close to your mouth, it will sound way, way better than the tiny pinhole mic that's on the camera. So all of the audio from that entire production comes from the pocket. It is a little confusing because phones in 2022 are huge, and it looks a little nonsensical in Emil's pocket, but also it was more important to have real good audio than for it to look ridiculous. So I didn't care how it looked. I was like, as long as it sounds good. And it does. It does sound good. So that worked. And the trick, is to just, you have to record voice memo on the phone, start recording on the camera, clap, and then you have to do that for every single take. And there was some difficulties in post between Emil and Josh, because Josh shot it, right? Josh followed my notes and actually shot the thing, and Josh did a great job. The problem was between Emil and Josh, I had a shot list, and all the shots were labeled like 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, 2C. The shots for the video and the shots for the audio did not match. I don't know if Emil knew this. I don't know if I told him this or not. They did not match, which made post-production very difficult, because I'm looking at shot like 2G, and I'm looking at voice clip 2G, and they do not go together. like the clap's there, right? So I do the clap, and then Emil's like moving his mouth, and it's like completely different audio, and I'm like, oh no. So, Emil gets to find out this live. So I went through and I slowly began to figure it out. But around that time, Josh, who shot it,
Was back here.
came back here, and I said, Josh, I need you to hang out with me for half an hour one night. So he came over, and
I think it was after. No, was it the night we cleaned the dining room?
Maybe. It
Might have been the taco night.
There was a night where he stayed here.
Yeah.
And because of it, it made it a little easier. So I had already synced about half. Mm-hmm. It actually might have been a Thursday. I'd synced about half of the clips.
Yeah.
And I could not figure out the other half. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So then Josh actually sat down, and he knew because he was there. So there was like a thing I was trying to sync, and he was like, oh, this doesn't have audio. And I was like, perfect. And he's like, this goes over here. And I was like, so then we started to like piece it together. And before I went to bed that night, I had everything synced, and then I could actually cut the thing. And it took me a few days to actually get around to cutting it because I had so many other things going on.
Yeah.
But eventually I got a chance to actually sit down and do it. And I did it. Yeah. Anyway,
They did a good job filming it.
they
It looks
did
really
do
good.
a good job.
Mhm.
They did do a
They
good
did a
job.
good
And I
job.
think that was the thing, is like, you know, I know both Emil and Josh were probably very nervous about doing
Mm-hmm.
that. And I know that Emil wanted me there. And I wish I could have shot it myself. Probably because it would have taken me... I would have saved a little time in editing if I would have shot it. Because I would have had done it just how I
You went to film
expected
school.
it in post. Yeah. That being said, they did a really good job.
Yeah.
They did a really good job. And it was fun to cut.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to go through and see everything. We needed one pickup shot. But I asked Emil to film the pickup shot, and he did. And I got that like a few days later and did good. Nice. Almost to 150,000 views in less than a day. Very, very cool. Yeah, it was fun. And I'm glad that Josh did as good of a job as he did with the like the filming and stuff and following those directions, because that makes my job in post easier. Like if you screw up the camera stuff, like if you don't set your white balance, if you don't, you know, make sure that you're not blowing things out, like if you don't do that, I will scream. So he did a really good job with all of that. So, and it was all shot on a ZV-1. It was shot on a ZV-1. That's just really cool. That might not mean anything to everyone, but trust me, it is neat. It's really neat. Yeah, the French kiss stinger was a little improvised thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to mention about that. Probably not. Probably not. My hope is that in the future, if Emil has a desire to do this sort of thing again, that I would be able to actually shoot it, because it would make my life easier in post.
Yeah.
If I shot it myself. But I'm still happy with how it turned out. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it was fun. 47 months from Missing No Leader. 7 months from Jedi Zach. We got 2 arts in the queue. One is an art, and one is Extra Life totals. Extra Life, as a reminder, is
Soon.
in 11.
Yep, I think
11
it's
days.
11.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the art first. Oh my god. The cookie heist.
Stephen getting those blue ribbon cookies.
I wanted them. I really, really wanted to try them. Mm-hmm. Really wanted to try them. take a look at the totals as well. Sonic the Black Knight, $7.50. Munchables, Big Brain, Elebits, Hello Kitty Seasons.
Hello Kitty.
Get $95 in the roulette pool, too. $95, not quite enough to
change anything
necessarily force an upset.
Yep.
Cool. There's a lot of really interesting games on the list, so... also, I'm going to request that folks do make sure that Babysitting Mama gets played, because Haley has been making sure the baby is clothed, actually made a diaper for the baby that is of higher quality than the one
Than the baby?
Yeah, that is higher quality than the baby itself. And also, she said she has other plans for the baby, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm excited about it. Yeah. But yeah, Extra Life, October 29th. Can't believe it. It's soon.
It's soon. Mm-hmm.
It's really, really soon. Anyway, other things to announce today. We will be doing the Quarry again
On Friday.
on Friday. I don't believe we're actually going to be finishing it. I thought that we would, but we won't. So we're probably not going to be finishing the Quarry until
After Extra Life.
after Extra Life. But it does mean that the Friday stream of Quarry is probably going to be full of spooky.
Yeah. I have not found it
spooky.
as spooky as Until Dawn.
Oh, I haven't either.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that this Friday will be particularly frightening because, like, we're getting to the point where all of the frightening stuff should show up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Until Dawn had a lot of scares, a lot of jump scares that I don't feel like there's been a single jump scare in Quarry. Which, I mean, I guess that, it's good if you don't like jump scares. Okay. Until Dawn was scarier earlier on in the game. Yeah, maybe things on Friday are gonna be like completely horrifying. That would be fine.
Dylan style.
I would be fine with that. I like horror. Oh, actually, that's a fun little thing. Do we have any photos of that? We went over to Alex and Haley's on.
I posted some in Discord. I can post them again to make them easier for the mods.
We went over to Alex and Haley's on. Was it Sunday evening? Sunday evening.
Sunday?
I'm asking you to clarify.
I believe it was a Thursday. No, it was Sunday.
Recently, and because Haley bought pumpkins because she wanted us to do some pumpkin carving.
I could also post this photo.
Oh, you should post that.
Okay, I'll post that first, and then I'll go to the pumpkins.
Sure. Mao is a photo of all of us at the state fair, which I think would be fun to show.
What do you want me to post? This is kind of a group shot.
Yeah. Why did you get such a crappy version?
You were standing in the way.
Of my pumpkin?
You were standing on the... I couldn't get in front of all of them. Oh, that's our group fair photo.
That's not even the edited one.
Oh, it's not? Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Do you not delete the one that when you edit the photo, you not delete the other one so you don't... No? Okay.
That is the one I posted to everyone. That's not the one I put on Instagram.
Yeah.
Well...
Anyway, it doesn't matter, make a decision. I feel bad because that one doesn't show my,
Oh, someone had it already. Oh, I'll post yours separately. How about that?
Well, mine's on the left there. Left is mine, and then next to mine is Haley's, and then Alex's, and then Mouse. Mouse is on the far right. But we did pumpkin carving on Sunday. And it was fun. I don't know that I've ever carved a pumpkin before. If I did, I would have been a child when I did it. There's mine.
Steven's.
The only thing I knew when I did mine is that I really wanted to make something scary, and I didn't have a plan.
You know
you
the
have this
cheap
little tiny awful
knife.
tool.
Yeah, you know that cheap knife that comes with the pumpkin kit? That's all he used to do that. That is the only tool.
Yeah, so I didn't like
Have a plan?
I didn't have a plan. I just started carving until that showed up, and I liked it. Originally, I had a mouth, and then I thought it would be scarier if I just pulled the mouth out of it. So I did. It actually had it kind of looked like a bit like a clown. It had like a tongue and everything. I just grabbed the mouth and like ripped it off, and then behind it there are all these like pumpkin
Strings.
tendrils, and I was like, oh, this is much better.
And you weren't gonna scoop it out. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't. You just started with the whole pumpkin and did that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but it would be so good with a light inside going through the strings.
Yeah.
So I cut a hole in the back and I scooped out part of it so we could get a candle in it.
Yeah. I like I think I would really like sculpting, honestly. I did a little I mean, this is subtractive sculpting. I did a little additive sculpting in college and I really liked it, but I don't know when I would have the time to sit down and like do that. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I think that would be enjoyable at some point. Anyway, what was I saying? There's something I was saying right before that.
Line Rider says, wait, in the back? Doesn't it go in the top? You can do whatever. Mine is the chain chomp looking one, and I cut out of the bottom, actually. So the whole pumpkin lifts off, and the base stays there, and then the candle goes on that, and then you set the whole pumpkin. Mm-hmm. So I did that.
You can do it any way you want. 30 bits from Mr. Right Prank says that pumpkin looked creepier without the light. It is a creepy boy.
Yeah.
I think I got a good shot of just that one with the light in it, and it looks pretty good. I probably could have carved the eyes further in, but it's fine. Maybe I'll do it. The only problem is using that tiny little tool. The tool was not even completely round. The handle wasn't even completely round. It was like an octagon. My thumb and forefinger, so sore, calloused from using that little tool.
The best tool to get is a drywall saw. It's basically like, it has a nice like handle on it, and it's like this long and like super sharp. And it's serrated because you want something serrated.
Yeah.
That's like the best tool to go buy.
Yeah, next time.
We'll go buy specialized tools.
Next time we'll buy
from the hardware
specialized
store.
tools and go from there. The reader from Anorak says, I love this alert. Thanks for the good vibes and congratulations everyone. Y'all have a great day. Yeah, and again, congrats again. I hope that the next few months are mostly exciting. Mostly exciting. Other little things to announce. I said the quarry on Friday. Obviously, breakfast stream on Thursday. This Sunday.
Yeah.
This Sunday we will return to the table to finish our 3D puzzle. If you haven't seen what we've done so far on the puzzle, it is on the VOD channel. The first. Sorry, ooh keeps making me laugh. The first VOD's on the VOD channel. So, it's not after Extra Life.
It's the week before.
This Sunday, aka 5 days from now, is Puzzle. Extra Life isn't for another 11 days. It is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So, oh my god. So many oohs. Yeah, what day is that? The
23rd? 22nd?
Hold on, 23rd.
What time is Sunday stream?
Oh, if we can do the same time, that would be preferable. Which was
what?
11 a.m. Eastern. I like that time slot. I like that. It's very different than the other times that we do, but I think that it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna commit to that for like forever. But I like the afternoon. Yeah, I bet Europeans like that too. So yeah, we'll probably aim for the same time. So probably 11 a.m. on the 23rd. Yeah. God, there's so many oohs now.
Coffee!
The ooh-woos. 300 from Phantom SBT. Can I get another ooh-woo just for good measure? 500 from Belief says, it's ooh-woo time. 300 from One Word Cat says, ooh-woo, what does this button do-woo? BD. 300 from Action Cat says, the way you said the table sounded like it was its own horror game.
The quarry, the table.
The table. I mean, you know, we have an entirely new streaming setup.
Yeah.
And it is the table. Things about that space are going to evolve as we do more with it. Mm-hmm. One of the things is like the table itself. Like, I don't really want to use like a Costco folding table for the rest of my life, but it's probably going to take a while before we find something that's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
And we need to like soundproof the room. I don't know if I'm going to get to that before Sunday, to be perfectly honest. There's a good chance that I won't.
We'll deal with it later.
It's fine. It's a work in progress.
It's a treat, not a trick, we promise. Tiny Eddie's Oops. All olives.
That's a bit from Colin says, I like eating lunch with Chugga's videos. What should I eat during Chugga's current LP?
Olives.
Olives. Just olives.
Olives. Olive salad. Olives in a jar.
Just olives.
Olives on a plate.
Just a lot of olives. Which actually is somewhat related to Puzzle Stream, because we had the charcuterie board and there was olives. There was olives. It's a treat, not a trick. We promise. We lied before, but this time it's true.
Jimmy.
300 from Slick Duke says, time to ride the ooh-woo train. 300 from Mr. Viper Fang says, oh no, I might have triggered an ooh-woo cascade in chat. There are a lot of ooh-woos. 300 from Sachi says, Jimmy, to break it up, isolating sucks, COVID sucks, sleeping all the time sucks. I'll be fine next week, I hope.
Make sure you keep resting.
Yeah, I mean, it does suck. Mm-hmm. Just being sick, just in general, sucks a lot. Just, you know, try and rest and try and do anything that you can to pass the time and relax.
Channel your inner Kepler.
Should we all be so bold as to channel our inner
so
Kepler?
Tired.
I wish that I could relax like a cat does. Holy cow. On demand, Kepler can fall asleep in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to try. Bread. Oh, yeah, making bread. That's a good idea. I do like that. 36 months from Zelda Master 702. Congrats on the 3. And with that, the new vlog is out. So head over to StephenVOD and watch it. And that's the last vlog I have done. Just so folks know, it's the last vlog I've done. You can go ahead and click the link that Chazzer Fox has got there. The next one is the one I'm working on now, and it's the Children's Hospital tour. That's in like that. That's obviously there's a lot to that, and then there is other things that happened that day. So it's a doozy.
Yeah, it is.
It's honestly,
there was a lot that day.
It's honestly a doozy, and I'm trying to get through it. I desperately need to get through it because I want to get caught up on other things, and like it's hard.
What keeps waking him up?
Probably me going, how do you do this? Probably didn't help.
Kitty. Hi, Kitty.
All right, that's it. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful Tuesday. We will be back Thursday morning for another breakfast stream.